Jules is still with us. Let me start with you, though, Ali. I liked when he talked about, he didn't want to mention the name or the comparison, even though they ended up doing so, but talking about the freedom that he plays with and the talent that he has to do that.
Well, what allows you to play with freedom is that talent. Because what you've been doing as a kid, and he's still a kid, what happens with the health of Lamine? What happened with Lamine's legs? How are we going to take care of him? And Xavi's response, I guess, in his mind would have been, yeah, well, he's the one guy that I can lean on right now to make a difference. He was Barcelona's most consistent player in the attack last season, and that progression has continued over the summer and on to this season. And what we're seeing is the natural progression of the talent just taking over. If you add that, the maturity of having been a professional for as long as he has now, and the maturity of being in this sort of environment and handling the pressure in the manner in which he has, then of course, this is when we start seeing, man, this projection is taking us in a trajectory that is scary, scary good. But everybody calm down. Calm down. The talent is there. The maturity is there. Just let him play. If we just allow Lamine Yamal to be Lamine Yamal on the field, he will continue to get better. He will continue to score goals. He will continue to make his own way.
It's interesting, isn't it, Jules, as well, when you heard in the interview the fact that they were speaking about those financial problems that Barcelona have, so well documented, but it's actually opened the door for these young players at Barca.
Yeah, and despite some of the signings, like a Lewandowski, for example, that they were able to do because of all the levers and everything that Laporta did, really the redemption came again from La Masia and again from the Spurs. Okay, Pedri is a little bit different because he arrived obviously much later and he was already in post-formation. But from Gavi to Lamine to Cubarsí to many others that we see even more with Flick now, by the way, than under Xavi himself before, it's remarkable to the point that you even wonder if they needed the levers to go and get a Lewandowski or Rafinha, spend 50 million on Ferran Torres, for example, when they actually had all that talent waiting there to express themselves within the academy. I think it's we will never know anyway because they've decided to go in that direction with a bit of, quite a lot of money spent, plus the kids from the academy. But even just the kids from the academy might have worked even better.
Saying that, and this has been done for forever, where from the time a player breaks in, there is these inevitable comparisons, which I agree with Cesc Fàbregas. I hate them all. Just let players play, let players develop. But there's this need to be the next, whoever it was just before. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, Ansu Fati was supposed to be the next Lionel Messi. From the time a player comes out of La Masia and breaks into the Barcelona first team, well, he's going to be the next. And I don't think that does either the young player any justice in terms of their progression, everybody follows a different arc, or to the legacy that those players have left behind. So let's not get too carried away with it, even though I'm sure we'll continue to do it.
It's Kate's fault.
Well,
she's the one asking the question.
Well, and she told Jules she told Martin Ainstein to force Cesc Fàbregas that way.
I would have got a leg happily.
But saying and again saying that because I think you see this with especially ex-professionals. You understand how thin the margins are between very talented players making it and very talented players not. And oftentimes it's just about an attitude. It's just about not getting carried away with that hype. And so you are always reluctant to then have that hype or add to that hype and make it an excuse for a young player coming through. So everybody will follow their own paths. I am sure in the next 3 to 5 years, there'll be some other young player coming along with better early career numbers than Lionel Messi that will come nowhere near to equaling what he's been able to do on the football.
But to Kate's question, nowadays you need somebody to save the players from themselves, especially in these calendars. And we've seen in the past, whether it's Ansu Fati, whether it's Pedri, whether it's Gavi, that these players are still coming into their own bodies and learning what it's like to be a professional. And oftentimes, the calendar, they just get overworked. They get into situations where they get injured. They're not the same. Ansu Fati, a case being right there. Pedri, the injuries he had early on. Gavi, it just seems like you want to take care of a talent like like Lamine Yamal. You want to make sure he's guided in the proper way, so he has a chance to forge his own way and be not Messi, but Yamal, be his own type of man. And it's not easy, especially with these players. And we've seen the way that these clubs just want to get the players out there and, do as much as they can with them, exploit them for the calendar, and the health goes out the window. So it's very much a case of you've got to guide them.